Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're giving you our Week 9 fantasy football starts and sits for the Thursday night football game between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. We're here to help you make all the right decisions on who you should keep in your lineup and who you need to sit. Let's start this fantasy football podcast right meow.
Hit that drop. Hey everyone, I am Justin, that is Kyle, and this is the Fantasy Football Upside. Thanks very much for dropping by our Fantasy Football Podcast and YouTube channel. We appreciate it. Hopefully the waiver wire episode that we just released yesterday was kind to you all. If you need a refresher, definitely check it out in the description below or right where Kyle's pointing. So definitely check that out.
Yep.
And today, we're hitting you with Week 9's Thursday night football matchup, and that's the start-sit matchup. We got the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Go ahead and hit the Packers drop. Go ahead.
All right.
Go, Pack, go!
What you got for me, Kyle? I figured I'd get that in for you while you still
do it now or forever hold your peace, right? That sort of thing. Hey, look, guys, if you like listening to Nimrods like us talk about fantasy football and try to help you out, help you win that
championship,
make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell as well, so you're notified every time we upload the podcast. We upload 5 days a week. We have a set schedule. We try to help you out with your waiver wire pickups, your Thursday night matchups, top line starters, streamers, and fades, and we like to throw together matchups for every game. Actually, we like to talk about each start and sit, and we'll answer questions if you put them down in the comments or you hit us up over on not Facebook, Twitter. Might on Facebook. I don't know. I'm never over there on Facebook.
Don't get many comments on that one, but definitely hit us up if you need anything. Hit us up. Yeah.
We're around. But to that end, if you ever have any questions, we're always here because we're always asking.
Do you need assistance?
And we're happy to help. Nobody's figured out what that's from yet. It's a little too maybe cut off to let anyone know. It is a scene. There's a bear. There's a bear in the scene. Bear. It's not a real bear, but there is a bear.
Is the guy?
Is the guy?
Is the bear?
Yeah. Yep.
Write it down in the comments if you know by now.
Yeah.
Write that down.
That's right. Okay, so let's dive in head first into the shallow end, as always, because that's what we've done our whole lives growing up.
Yep.
And let's hit up the starts and sits for Thursday night football. We've got Green Bay Packers, woo, at the 49ers, boo. All right, woo and boo, right? So I'll take woo here with the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to say start him, actually. I would say look for a solid bounce-back game. He didn't have a terrible game against the Vikings. This is definitely a better secondary. The issue for them right now is that they really don't have a whole heck of a lot available in the passing game right now. It is, again, Davante Adams. I think what's harming them and hurting them the most is Aaron Jones, the next guy that I want to talk about here. He needs to be back in the lineup because without Aaron Jones, there's no real dual threat. There's no passing game threat, running game threat. Jamal Williams, not Jamal Adams. Jamal Williams is just not going to get the job done. He's got one speed, and though he's very enthusiastic about it, he's more of a change of pace back. He is good out of the backfield catching the ball, but he's just not as consistent as Aaron Jones is going to be. It's clear between the two that Jones is the guy to have. So look, there's tons of injuries up front for the 49ers right now. They've lost people left and right. Now they're starting to lose people on the offensive side of the ball. So if Aaron Jones is back, I think you have to fire him up this week. The question is whether or not he's going to be back. We're talking about a Thursday night game. That's a tough one to figure out. A.J. Dillon is out on the COVID list. So not for a while, guys. Jamal Williams, great spin of a second round pick, right? Jamal Williams, as you might have figured out, I'm not a huge fan of. I like him as a change of pace guy, but that's only because your curveball or not your changeup is a pretty good pitch as long as you have a really good fastball usually or a comparatively good fastball. So without your fastball, this changeup just looks like somebody's pitching underhand softball. And that's unfortunate, but that's what Jamal Williams kind of is. He is Jamal Concrete Mixer Williams. And so he's not going to get it done. Tyler Ervin pass. Davante Adams is a start. So the thing to know about the 49ers defense is that they are middle of the road in allowing points to the QB and the wide receiver. They are really, really tough against the running backs and the tight ends. Those are the areas that you're going to struggle in. I think that with some injuries up front right now and in that linebacker core, they're a little bit weaker than what they've shown so far. And I think that Jones is the kind of guy who might be able to exploit that. I do not think, though, that Tanyan is, but I do think that Adams is a guy that you could start here. And look, he is possibly the best wide receiver in fantasy and possibly the best wide receiver in the league. Some of the stuff he does is just absolutely sick. And this is not a terrible matchup. So I think he could get it done. He has beaten Richard Sherman like a redheaded stepchild for several games that they've seen each other. And the 49ers destroyed the Packers last year in the playoffs. And why did they do that? How did they do that? They had Raheem Mostert. They don't have Raheem Mostert. They don't have Tevin Coleman. They don't have a healthy Jeff Wilson. They're down to Jermichael Hasty and who?
Jerick
McKinnon.
And
Jerick McKinnon
on dead legs.
Yeah. So they're not going to be able to control the clock as they would like to. And that team's built to run. That's what they're built to do. Control the clock, keep the other offense off the field. I think that this is going to be a long day for the 49ers as well. As most people would think it would be a long day for the Packers. Tanyan, not a great matchup here this week. He's been getting consistent and good yardage for you, but for this week, for him to be a playable guy, you're going to need to see him land in the end zone with the ball and get that touchdown for you. That's really the only way I think that he has startable value this week for you. Right. And the odds of that occurring are, I would peg that if you're lucky, 20%.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's it. That's all I got for the Packers. I don't think there's a whole lot worth going to town on. I mean, it's the big three. It's the big three. It's Rodgers, Jones if he plays, and Devontae Adams. I mean, you could consider Lazard. I do want to mention that he might be back and available. You could consider him, but I think where his value is going to present this week is in the running game mostly.
Yep. Alrighty. So for the 49ers, a lot of injuries on this team. So a lot of these guys that we're talking about,
everybody.
Pretty much
everybody.
Yeah. Some of these guys are talented and some of the other ones are just guys that are playing out of necessity and they may have some sort of fantasy value.
Guys.
So I want to talk about the quarterback position. Jimmy G is out. He's out for the game. So come on down, Nick Mullins. He has zero fantasy football relevance right now. So sadly, that's nothing in the quarterback room.
So you wouldn't pay anything for him.
No, not quite. Yeah. Not quite. Not so much. I'm not going out there and spending all the money on that. So running backs, Kyle, man, we already kind of mentioned it just a little bit. You were talking about, Tevin Coleman. You're talking about Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr. Yes, those three guys are decent, and all three of them are out for this. So we're left with Jerick McKinnon and Jermichael Hasty. Jerick McKinnon, self-admittedly, is running on dead legs. Yeah. That's probably not a good thing for running back.
If I had to guess, this one, Kyle, I got this one off of a dead guy in a grave. And this one over here, it's mostly mine. Yeah. You'll find though from about the knee to the ankle.
Well, actually, he probably does have cadaver ligaments in his knees because he's had how many torn ACLs. But McKinnon is definitely a boom or bust flex. So I want to put that out there. If you're really desperate, just because of how not so good the Packers are against run defense. But Jermichael Hasty, I would be okay starting him in a running back position if you have to. Jermichael Hasty was. He has a lot of fanfare in the offseason. Kyle Shanahan propped him up. And this backfield is so injury ravaged that he could be, valuable. It's just he out-touched McKinnon last week, but he wasn't really efficient with his touches. And 2 touchdowns is what saved his day. Yep. So that's what we have in the running back room. And the wide receivers, injuries.
Yep.
I'm going to keep saying it. Deebo Samuel's most likely out again. He didn't.
No, he is out. He is out. They declared him out for 2 weeks when they declared him out last week. They said he's out 2 weeks.
And that's just, man, he can't stay healthy, man.
Yep.
He really can't. And that was the same thing that happened whenever he was in college at South Carolina. But
Yep.
so Brandon Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne, come on down. I think Ayuk is startable right away. And Kendrick Bourne, if one of those desperation flex kind of positions right now, because they're gonna have to throw.
Yeah, but you're going against the best part of that defense. So
I know, but they're going to be down. And I know Kyle Shanahan will still want to run. They just don't have the bodies to keep running, so they are going to have to throw. And that's why Brandon Ayuk will have some sort of value. He had 11 targets last week, and I could kind of foresee the same. He may be in the backfield as well. He may get a couple rushes.
I mean, the problem that they're going to have is they need to pass to be able to win this game. And they're just not going to be able to. Anymore. No, they don't have the QB at all.
No,
I mean, they
down
barely had one with Garoppolo.
Right.
So yeah, what this team needs to do is just lose out the stretch so that they can go and actually draft somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, being completely honest there.
See if Bill Belichick will call and see if he'll take on Jimmy G's contract for a 7th round pick.
He might.
You never know.
I would imagine he would.
You never know. He may.
Or just trade Newton straight up
for it.
Straight up.
Well, I think Newton's on a 1 year, but no, I see what you're doing. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that's the wide receivers. So not a whole lot of confidence. Sorry if I'm not really saying a whole lot of confidence, and that's the reason why. And I have to throw this out there. Sorry, George Kittle out for the year, most likely.
This is probably the last time we get to do it.
No.
It's the George Kittle drop, right?
That makes me sad. If you listen to any of our stuff that we've done, you know how I have a really soft spot for George Kittle. Just love the way that he plays, and that's a tough blow for the NFL. So one last person I want to talk about, and it's not a guy that I think is going to play right now because of injury as well. But Jordan Reed, keep an eye out. If he's available in your league, he's probably still a couple weeks out, but kind of keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
Don't go out there and put a lot of money down or anything like that. But just keep an eye based off of all the other injuries on this team. And good Lord, has there ever been a team? Well, there hasn't been a team this year, I don't think, that's been hit as hard as they have.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
Stuff.
I mean, the last year that the Packers won the Super Bowl 2010, they had a ton of injuries, and they kept the games that they were losing because they finished 10-6. The games they were losing were all less than 3 points on them or something like that. They had like 5 games that were within 1 point loss, and it was because they had all those injuries, and then they all got healthy right as the playoffs were starting. And it's like they were a very different team. That could be the same case here if they can string out some sort. I mean, the NFC West is not. There's nobody running away with it, I would say. I mean, Arizona could, because they've got a lot of they've got a lot of in division wins, right? Arizona has beaten Seattle, they've beaten San Francisco. I don't know if they've played the Rams or not, but I just remember those 2 games. And so they have a real chance to take down that division and walk away with it. If they do, then the 49ers probably don't have a chance of getting that extra wild card spot that they have this year in the playoffs. So, in my opinion, they should just lose out and go and get an actual QB. But it's not like Shanahan's going to use them to throw the ball. So I guess it doesn't matter. And maybe then Cam Newton actually is a great pick for them. Great pick. So
I don't know. I feel like the 49ers must have sold their soul just a little bit last year to get to how far they are in their, getting the
how far gone they are. They're the reason we're having 2020. Are they the reason that 2020 has occurred the way it has? Kyle. Is that what it is? They sold us all out so they could make it to the Super Bowl to lose. Is that what it is? Yeah.
And then now they're really feeling the effects of that one. You gotta look out for those Kyles, man.
Oh yeah. Got to look out for it. Yep. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for our Thursday night episode. The next time you talk to us, it's going to be the top start, streamers, and fades. And then we'll get into our breakouts. Yeah, streamies. And then we'll get into our game-by-game breakdowns for starts and sits, our matchups, and then game time, right? All right. So, guys, make sure that you hit subscribe as well as the bell so that you're notified every time we upload this podcast. If you like goofiness with a little bit of fantasy football mixed in, we're your guys probably, right? Make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down below asking questions. If you have any, we'll try to help you. We'll see what we can do for you. Okay. We want to get you to that
Championship.
help you win it. All right, guys. So subscribe, hit the bell. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being a fan of the Upside.
See you guys.